Welcome to the 2024 Marketing for Creatives podcast. I'm glad you're here. If you're listening to the audio, I just want you to know that I am doing this via video. So if you want to see what I'm doing, hop over to YouTube because I've gotten a lot of questions about my Cultivate Planner based on our recent release of the Authentic Online Marketing Podcast, episode 114, about goal planning for entrepreneurs. And so I'm going to share with you my Cultivate Planner. Now, you can get this planner in the show notes. I will link them here. You can get the link on YouTube and also on episode 114 of the Authentic Online Marketing Podcast. The Cultivate Goal Planner is linked there in the show notes and here, everywhere. Okay, we'll link it everywhere and use the code Ruthie Gray Author for 10% off. Now, there is a certain way to enter that code, so you'll need to look at the show notes for that particular way to do it. So, like I said, I've gotten a lot of questions about this planner. I'm going to unbox it right here. And by the way, my name is Ruthie Gray, and welcome to the podcast. If this is your first time, we drop this private podcast every other week or every 2 weeks. And so you'll want to subscribe. You have to subscribe to listen if you are watching the YouTube channel, and you'll get an email every time we drop a podcast episode. So here's how the Cultivate Planner comes. When you open it up, it's got this little wrapping on it and comes in this nice box. And I'm going to tell you why I use it and how I use it. Okay. But this is the color that I got. It's a sage green. That's my brand colors. If you're looking at me right now, you can see that based on my green and blue wall behind me. My shirt is green and blue and dark blue. These are the colors that I use for my brand. They're also the colors of my soul. So it says, Cultivate What Matters 2025 Power Sheets Goal Planner. Now, I will say it may be confusing to you, so you need to know what you're looking for. It is the Power Sheets Goal Planner. I always call it the Cultivate Planner, and it is a Cultivate Planner, but it's the year planner. So it's going to say 2025 Power Sheets Goal Planner. When you hit my link, you'll come to a page that has all the products. But if you'll look underneath the scroll bar, the banners, the pictures, you'll see it in gray, and you can click on that and be taken to the goal planners. They're in all different colors. Like I said, mine is sage green. It's got nice spiral binding, so you can easily flip through it and it will turn nicely for you. Now, if you're going to travel with this, just know that you're going to need something that's bigger to use it with. I travel back and forth to Florida with this in my computer bag. This is my lifeline. I do correlate this with another planner, a line a day journal, which I will do in another episode in another video. But for today, we're going to talk about this Power Sheets planner. You open it up and there is a square piece of paper where it says my word of the year, and you can select your word of the year. I do this every year because it helps keep me on track and focused for what I want to do that year. Last year, my word of the year was speak, and I did some speaking. I always do speaking. Especially on the podcast, but I did a humongous podcast tour for my book, Empty Nest Awakening. So I did that. I did attend some speaker trainings and was critiqued on that. So That helped keep me focused because I knew that I needed to refine and hone my speaker skills. This year, I don't know what the word of the year is. I need to sit with the Lord and jot. And this is how I come to it. I do a lot of journaling. So I journal and use this as my tool to figure out what my word of the year is and what my focus and what my goals are. So it's called the Power Sheets 2025 Intentional Goal Planner. Your fresh start begins here. So you'll see a lot of words in here at the beginning and kind of guiding you to what you need to do. And it gives you different things to do at the beginning. And here's a cute little diagram of what you're going to do. Write your name on page 1, choose your goals, do your prep work, select a word of the year, take your first step on a January goal, etc., etc. So one of the things that I love to do in this, I don't do everything that they tell you to do in this. I think I would be exhausted. So what I like about it is you can pick and choose. But one of my favorite things is to brainstorm my year ahead. And what do you want to cultivate in the year ahead? Write your goal ideas for 2025. No perfect handwriting required, thank the Lord. Dig in and dream. And so I brain dump and write my year and what I think I want. It's you just start. And then what are you passionate about? There are some examples that takes you through this. And what fires you up? Here's another whole page about what fires you up. Is it being outdoors, seeing the ocean? Yes. Reading inspiring books and so forth. This I really love. This page has 4 squares, and you will see this kind of a theme throughout for monthly and quarterly as well. Good things. What worked in the last year? And so I'll go back to last year's planner and look at that because I have logged it. Challenges. What didn't work? I like using what worked, what didn't work for my months too. Lessons, how I learned and grew, and gratitude, who I'm thankful for. Evaluate where you are now. It gives you 2, 4, 6, 8 spaces and categories like community, family, finances, health and wellness, home and spaces, personal and spiritual growth, work and learning, so that it's not just a working entrepreneur planner, it's a well-rounded planner for you. You can use it however you want, but over the years, I've found that it's better for me to include my health and wellness and my other personal goals in there. And you will hear in episode 114 of the Authentic Online Marketing Podcast how I encourage you to have, for every 3 goals, one of them should be personal. You do not want to just do your work goals or other kind of goals without having a personal goal because, for instance, you need to not let go of your health. So maybe it's a goal is to do clean eating or less sugar or less carbs, something like that. So I do advise you to do that. Then it talks about your mindsets, upgrade your mindset, make decisions. This is super important. And I have forced myself to do this in the last few years over time. It takes time, but what I'm saying yes to in 2025, what I'm saying no to. Now, again, this is just so much prep work, but I encourage you to at least do some of this prep work. I love this page. It's got a lot of lines and a lot of fill in the blanks. My most purposeful year, imagine it, 2025. My name is blank. I dream of being blank. This year, I'm focusing on blank. I'm deciding that I can. I'll prove it to myself with small wins. I will do this by saying yes to blank and saying no to blank. I will let go of blank. And it goes on and on. And I love that page because it really helps me focus on what I want to do. Then you brainstorm those 8 goals. 2, 4, 6. Yeah. The 8th goal is something you can write in. And then write your yearly goals. Now, I really advise you, It's got space for 8 goals, I think. I advise you to just stick with 5 or 6. 6 is the limit that I have found in Empty Nest, at least, realistically, to keep up with. And sometimes I change my goals, but this is a whole page here with writing in it. It's time to bloom where you're planted is the next page. And so then you have a section for each goal that you just filled in on that other page. So you write your goal in this section, and for season 1, or basically it's Q1, you'll write what you're going to do towards that goal. Q2, what are you going to do there? Q3 and Q4. This really helps keep me on track to know what I need to step up on and what I don't as I go back and look at these. So there's a page for your first goal, for your second goal, and so forth, just like that. I don't want to take you through every single page here because that I don't want to wear you out on this, but I do want to just bring your attention to the monthly things. So it's got tabs. Mine are pink to go with my green, which is perfect because pink is one of my brand colors. So you start with January. You turn the page, and I always fill these out every month. Important to-dos, goals to make progress on my calendar, and on my mind. And so I do this, and it has a calendar of January there, and I'll write in like exactly what's going on. Just big picture things like doctor's appointments and travel and things. And then I do want to throw this in there. I use a Google Calendar. I put everything in that because I do coaching calls and things like that in there. So when my clients or people who want to do discovery calls or a consultation on what their next step is, they can go in there and see when I'm free. So that's just an extra there. But it just takes you through things for your month, and you can look at this more in depth once you get one. But it has a place to break down your goals that you're going to work on for that month and the little steps that you're going to take for them and monthly action items. I will confess, I don't always fill this stuff out. It, to me, is a lot of busy work, but I know my big goals, if I will just fill in the important to-dos at the beginning of the page on January 1st on each month. Important to-dos, goals to make progress on my calendar and on my mind. Then when I get to the end of the month, I also love doing this. I will make the time to do this, to assess at the end of the month what happened. Favorite memories, action steps I'm proud of, gratitude, goals that are growing well, what's not working, what I read or listened to, and there's a song on repeat. Now, I don't fill all those out, but I usually fill most of them out. So that's how you assess. But then at the end of each quarter, there is a quarterly assessment. Let's see. So you can refresh your goals. Okay. So at the end of March, your refresh is here. And I think it's real important to do this and look back, because if you don't consistently assess your goal progress, then you are not going to stick with your goals. And this helps keep me accountable to myself. I make a date with myself to do this. And so then you can do your quarterly refresh. You can rate your goals and your goal progress right in this page right here in your goal reset, and keep on moving. Where have you seen the most growth in your yearly goals this season? Which yearly goals need more nourishment? And you can write that down. And then you're going to refresh your goals then. Maybe they need tweaked. Maybe they need what you wrote at the beginning of the year. And by the way, I dog ear that page of my 6 to 8 goals, and I go back so that I can refer to it and then refresh, right? My goals refreshed here. Sometimes I just go back to the main page at the beginning and mark them out and write the new goal. You can do that too. It's just nice to have a starting point. There's a nice routines reset page here. And then you can have a place for notes that you can jot out, just kind of your thoughts on how it's going. So that's your quarterly reset. And then you go on with April. So that is the Cultivate Planner. And I am sorry if you can't see all the pages super clearly. Just know that's kind of a quick recap of what you can expect to get in that planner. So, Cultivate What Matters 2025 Power Sheets Goal Planner. The link is in the show notes. And be sure to use the code Ruthie Gray Author. I think that's what the code is. Just go look at the notes, they're linked in there. And thank you for listening this week. And also, I want to mention I'm thinking about having a planning session using the tools that I use, the goal planner and the line a day journal that I use. You can find it on Amazon. It's by Krista Hutchins. That is also linked in the Authentic Online Marketing podcast number 114 on goal setting. So I'm thinking of holding a workshop for how to plan and to help you walk through planning 2025. If you would be interested in that workshop, would you let me know? Just drop in my inbox on Instagram or send me an email at ruthiegray123@gmail.com or reply to one of my newsletters. You should be on my newsletter. Reply to one of those and let me know. I would love to know if there is enough interest, then I will do a workshop. And the workshop would be likely either mid-December or just early January. And sometimes early January takes the pressure off. So I'm kind of leaning towards that, but I need your input. So one of my staunch supporters, podcast listeners, and newsletter readers wrote me and said, "Hey, I'm getting this Cultivate Planner and I've got the Line a Day Journal. Would you consider holding a workshop to walk us through planning 2025?" And I would love to do that. I did that with my business group last year. So let me know. And I will hope to hear from you soon. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.